I should have reset that baby before I got moving here. Sound check, Marcus?
Yeah, checkmate king 2. This is Roy Rook over.
You sound perfect.
Good.
And
we're live.
You're live.
Getting ready to go here. Yes, I got mute sound live over here. We're muting. Okay, DeMarco, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and welcome into DroneNation for July 28th, 2005. A new drone has arrived. Probably a couple new drones have arrived, actually. Yeah, there's a new one, and we got a story on another new drone. Well, Tom's got a new drone has arrived, and there's another new drone on the horizon. Got a lot of new drones to talk about tonight here. But before we get into all that, I do want to say thoughts and prayers to everybody over the U.S., wherever else, Mexico, Canada, that's under this heat bubble. Much of the U.S. is under extreme heat warnings. You know, Johnny's parish even sent him a warning about the heat. It was hot on the East Coast today. You know, Bob said you guys were hitting 100 last week, and it's the same this week. And
106 right now. 106.
There you go.
94.
And you guys have reported, and DeMarco reported 93 or something, right?
I'm a degree hotter than DeMarco. Wow.
Well, DeMarco, how hot was it inside that practice facility? 100 in there?
About so, and humid. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, it's luckily, you know, we have air conditioning, all that, but thoughts and prayers for anybody that doesn't have proper AC or proper hydration or whatever in this type of extreme heat conditions. So, yeah. So, welcome everybody joining us in the chat tonight. Got a good crew out there tonight. I'm going to try to highlight you guys as we go along the show here. As you can see, we got Tom joining us tonight. Tom recently got a hold of a Mavic Pro 4, and we've heard a lot about we saw the early reviewers that had it, whatever. But Tom's had it a couple weeks now, I believe, and he's probably got enough hands-on time to at least give us kind of a first impressions of it or whatever. And he's got a little photo and little video to share that he's taken from it. So, and Marcus, when he gets back, he got the new SkyRover drone that we just found out about last Monday. He ordered it and it already got here. He's already flown it a couple times. So, what I like about that, Marcus, is over that dumb drone I ordered, that V-Copter Mini, I ordered in April, and I'm still sitting here with nothing. You ordered a drone last Monday, and you've got a couple flights in. I ordered the wrong drone, Marcus.
It literally, so I ordered on Amazon, and it was shipped from Malaysia and was here in 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to see
ordered
drones
on
move.
Monday, and I had the drone in my hand on Friday.
How's it feel, Marcus?
And that's what I love about Amazon.
Familiar?
Feels very familiar. Wink, wink, nod.
Yeah. And Mark is going to do a whole segment on that drone coming up here in a couple seconds. Tom's going to do a little segment on the Mavic 4 Pro. Mark is going to do a little segment on the SkyRover X1. But we got a couple quick shots. You like the way I borrow the DJI terminology here first, and so we'll go through stories there. Marcus and I talked this one over a little bit this afternoon. The DJI RC 2 controller, and I believe Tom's RC Pro controller too, also got a firmware update recently that added a screen lock feature that is protected by a password to the controller. Tom, did you get a chance to do this update yet?
Yes, I did the update because it does also bring a couple of bug fixes along for the ride. And after I waited a good 48 hours, I went ahead and installed the firmware update. I see no use for the screen locking on my side. So it's not something that to me brings any value. And I'm not really sure where it does bring value, because if you're leaving that controller out for others to put their hands on, I don't think it's going to stay around long enough for you to have to worry about a screen lock.
A good point. And I see this. I got the same early impressions. I don't really see a need for it. Now. A couple of guys have already done videos where if you do the screen lock and you got protected by a password and you lose that password, of course, you cannot get in. DJI cannot help you. At that point, you'll have to do a master reset of the controller, which will wipe out everything you have on at that point, all your settings,
Exactly.
video,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
there. So, you know.
And to me, Ron, it kind of slows down my deployment process, which is
Right.
one of the big features that I'm finding with this new pairing between the RC Pro 2 and the Mavic 4 Pro.
Right. We've all seen those quick start videos where you just kind of just unfold it, and you can even leave the controller, what kind of a sleep mode, and you boot up. I saw somebody, they timed it. They booted up in like 40 seconds. They were in the air or something.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I definitely like that because was always my problem, especially, the big feature for this is the fact of that screen brightness. I was a Crystal Sky owner, okay? And I was so upset when DJI stopped supporting that screen. To me,
Right.
These damn eyes, I say it all the time, are not getting any younger. And then when you stand out here in this desert sun, I'm wearing my prescription glasses that transition, and they transition me right out of the game because they get dark and I can't see that 600 nit brightness screen on the RC2. So I had done a great video. Well, I say great video because I got a lot of traction on that video on those X-Real 1 glasses. And I like those because the video plane was inside the glasses and I still had the UV protection outside. But this RC Pro 2 gives me a steady 1600 nit brightness with a peak of 2000 nits. And I've been out in the direct sunshine midday, and I can visualize the entirety of that screen, even the telemetry, which to me is one of the most important things.
That is a big accent. DeMarco, what's your take on this new screen lock feature that they added to the DJI controllers with screens on? Do you see a need to lock your screen with a password?
Ugh. No. I don't see a need for it. I see how some people would have a need for it, but I don't have a need for it all. My worry too is to get locked out or go to sell it, and then problems come up then. No, but I don't. Most of the time when I'm flying, it's on me the whole time. It's on me the whole time. So
Exactly.
I rarely set it down. Like yesterday, I was flying. Whole time it stayed on me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a cell phone where like all your personal stuff is in there and your.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
You know what I think the purpose of that was, the reason that DJI put that on there is I think there were a lot of these YouTube online influencers that needed to make a video about something. So DJI said, hey, we got you. We're going to put this thing on there, and you guys are going to make a bunch of clickbait videos.
It's all the USA influences, Marcus, because there's nothing else to talk about right now, right?
Yeah.
Again, the
Tom,
big drawback.
You think there could be some enterprise applications for that screen lock, maybe in an enterprise environment?
No, even from the public safety standpoint, no, absolutely not. Because the one thing you want to make sure of on the public safety side of the fence is, again, that you could rapidly deploy your technology. And I think with a screen lock, it's just it's a speed bump as far as I'm concerned, and I really don't see the value add there. It again, like DeMarco said, it doesn't have all my personal information on it. I also think it's potentially a knee-jerk reaction by DJI to say, look at us, we're protecting the privacy and security of the end user's device. Okay, so that might be partly the motivation behind it.
You know, all that security stuff is just a bunch of smoke and mirrors, though, Tom. I mean, it's just there's just people making excuses. It's nothing but politics. DJI could build the most secure, bulletproof
It wouldn't matter.
product in the whole world. It wouldn't matter. Yeah.
Well, Marcus, if the other companies had adhered to the same levels of security that DJI had, you'd now be paying, instead of 3 times the price, you'd be paying 4 times the price for those other drones. You know, a DJI product is FIPS compliant. It's AES 256. No other company brought out geofencing. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't wear my DJI fanboy shirt today, but I should have. But you know, you know, when you shave that sheep, it definitely looks a little different, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw some of those screen, and I don't want to, you know, trump you there. I saw some of those screen grabs you had, and boy, oh boy, if it didn't look like those 3 magic letters, I don't know what I was looking at.
It's a Mini 4, Tom. It's a Mini 4. It's not
a Mini 4.
There's differences. There are. They paired a lot of stuff down. Of course, I don't want to. We'll talk about that later.
You will talk about that one.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that one.
It is hilarious. People, it's just cracking me up though. All the responses, and the Verge had a big article today about. Well, is DJI behind it? Well, yeah, no kidding. DJI's behind it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, you read that article on Drone XL, so you know the what is it? 6 degrees of separation.
It's just,
okay,
yeah.
It is. You know, we live in an age of conspiracy theorists. Okay.
By the way, I applaud DJI for giving. They're just trying to find a way to sell us drones, and I'm all over it, man.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Well, let's save it for the Rover section. Okay, quick shot number 1 was the screen lock thing. Quick shot number 2 is DJI dropped their all-in-one teaser for 7/31, 2025 at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's expected this will be the much rumored 360 camera. No confirmation whether it will be for sale on DJI's US website store. Now, I plan on playing the little 10-second trailer that they released, but I forgot to link it up here, so I don't have it. But it goes by so fast, you can barely see it anyways.
Yeah.
I have the link. The link is in here if you want to watch it, but it just shows like the little moving picture of what looks like the 360 camera. So yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this camera for a couple months now. Finally going to drop. Again, we have no idea whether it's going to be available in the US or not. I guess we'll find out Thursday morning. Tom, any interest in this 360 camera from DJI? Or first of all, you've been interested in 360 cameras at all?
Well, I do own an X4 from Insta360.
Okay.
I didn't pull the trigger on the X5. This is something that when DJI gets into the game, it kind of starts to. You know what? I'll put it this way, real simple. I love the competition. I love the competition because competition breeds innovation. And if DJI is doing it, it's going to do it right. So I'm really excited to see what they roll out in this 360 camera and how they handle the post-processing, because that's Insta360 had to bring a lot to the table to manage that footage out of the camera. And I want to see how DJI approaches that same beast.
Tom, that's a dirty little secret of 360 video. It's all great until you got it home and you got to edit it out, whatever. And people that edit it every day, every week, whoever, they get good at it. But people that only do it occasionally, like me, I stumble through it every time. But like you mentioned, they've improved their app recently in the last couple of months, and now that they see that the AI works better, and you don't have to do as much by hand as you used to. So they have made improvements. But if DJI can take that editing flow to the next level and make it even more user friendly, that will sell the camera to me more than the specs.
Yeah, I agree.
Mark, you
I agree.
360?
Yeah. So Ron, what I wanted to add was I don't have a 360 camera, but I've got the little go-to camera from Insta360.
Yeah.
And I like it, but every time I use it, I have to upload the video to their program, and then I have to process it before I can use it. So consequently, I don't use it. It's just like what you were talking about, Tom, with trying to get your drone in the air. It's the same thing. I got to go through all those steps. I'm not going to use it. And that's always been my bugaboo with a 360 camera. Now, if they could solve that, maybe at some point I might be interested. But yeah, anyway.
So anyhow, I don't think we're going to plan on doing any launch party on Thursday morning because I'm being the pessimist, but I don't think it's going to be for sale.
I don't think we're going to get it.
We'll spend an hour talking about
that's something we have to key in on here. Will we get it? It's not a drone. But if the box has those 3 magic letters on it, that could be the clincher right there, right? I mean, but again, it's not a drone.
Yeah, that custom.
Yeah.
Right.
Will they be able to differentiate between that and a drone? I don't know. Yeah.
Such a tragedy. The rest of the world has no problem with DJI, but for some reason we do. It's just stupid. I'm sorry to be so blunt.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, Tom, that's a good point. Right. All the other, all the other advanced countries in the world, they don't find anything wrong with the DJI drones. Are we that good that we know something? They're full of the rest of the world, but somehow not from us, or.
So here, I'm sorry, I gotta step up on the soapbox for a second here, but when you stack the deck and cut the best player from the poker table, okay, and you just prevent them from playing, when you win that tournament, are you really the best? I mean, you're taking out the leader in the game. Now, what makes us think these companies are going to innovate the way the leader innovates? I mean, that's why I love the idea, and you might be talking about it, but this anti-gravity Insta360 drone, I think is a wonderful thing that's coming out, because to me, that's, even though they live right down the block in Shenzhen, okay, we probably won't get that drone either, okay, but it's competition. Competition breeds innovation. And we, as a consumer, always benefit from that, and we're going to be left in the dust here. And my biggest problem here is, okay, you want to maintain critical infrastructure in this country. You want to keep a leg in the game. That's all well and good. But do you cut off the other leg before you learned how to walk? And we want to turn around and say, hey, let's get all our ducks in a row behind the scenes, and then we can say, hey, we're not going to buy this from you, and we're not going to buy that from you, because we can already make it. But we're cutting off our nose to spite our face. We don't make product as well, and now we're going to close the door and expect to continue to move forward.
I'll go you one better. Say you're a rural fire department in northern Idaho. And you decide you're going to get a big idea and you want to fly a drone. Now, I know what your answer would have been to that guy a few months ago. You would have pointed it towards DJI products. But now it's not so easy. It's not so easy. So what I'm referring to is, I had a guy get a hold of me in a rural fire department. He was asking me advice about drones. I pointed him towards Tom, so that Tom could give him much better advice than I would. So,
and you know what, a great idea, a little, and what was evident by that email from that firefighter was the fact that these small little fire departments and first responder entities across the country do not have a boatload of cash to spend on a Blue UAS product that delivers a fraction of the capability.
But more than that, he had a huge need. His explanation was he wanted to be able to get out there and see something before it became a big problem. Well, you know, now, like Tom said, if a little fire department like that, how are they going to afford? You know, there'd be one thing if it was a $6,000 DJI drone. Can they afford, you know, $20,000 or whatever Skydio plus a $7,000 a year subscription and whatever else?
Well, you know, to me, it's like, you know, you look at the DJI 4D or the DJI Matrice 4T. Those are the best public safety drones on the planet, right? And you can afford them. Small departments, all they got to do is do a pancake breakfast, okay, and they can probably afford one of those drones. Can you afford a drone that gives you only a portion of that capability that costs you 3 times the amount? No. And you know what? The other problem with that is you already so you have a company, and I really don't want to mention their name because I'm not fans. I think the people in the company are great people. I think the C-level or the top management is the real problem with their company. And okay, Skydie, no. But they are planting themselves. We have remote flyers here in Las Vegas with Metro Police, okay? And they're flying these Skydios out of these docks on top of firehouses here to go to a scene and get situational awareness while the units respond. And one crashed today, but it's not supposed to be able to crash with its obstacle avoidance. I feel bad for the poor pilot that only has 3 weeks on the job, okay, that crashed it. But, you know, so this is the problem. When you sell somebody a car with only 3 wheels on it, are they going to get the same distance with that car? And the answer is no.
We're tying our first responders. We are tying one hand behind their back. That's what we're doing.
And we're taking away a tool, Marcus, that the analogy I've made is with the jaws of life, the Hearst tool. God forbid the Hearst tool was built outside the U.S. Would they start taking it off of rescue companies and truck companies?
Yeah.
No.
But you know what? These first response drones are becoming more ubiquitous. They're more use cases for them than that jaws of life. And to me, it becomes an essential tool set in a first responder's capability. And it's sad. It really is sad.
Yeah, and we're not even talking about search and rescue yet, right?
No.
Yeah.
We're talking about tactical on-scene deployment of a drone at a fire scene or a multiple casualty incident. And I'm not even talking about the law enforcement side of the fence, okay? That can potentially keep our officers safe because now you got eyes in the sky. You know, we look at large departments like New York and Chicago, Miami, Houston, LA, you know, have multi-millions of dollars worth of manned aircraft, helicopters, okay? Small departments can't afford that.
No.
But look at the ability to put those eyes in the sky for a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the operating cost. And, you know, but bringing you the same capabilities as that $14 million aircraft in the sky that requires, you know, a flight crew of at a minimum of 3.
Just what we ran into today, a rural fire department in Idaho that would totally accelerate their whole program if they could do it.
Tom, to say about fraction of cost, yeah. So like you don't have to train a pilot, you don't have to pay a pilot, and the safety too.
Just Marcus, if you think about once you put X number of hours on a helicopter, okay, or just a fixed wing aircraft, Okay, 2,000 hours. I got to pull an engine.
Yeah. You
Okay.
gotta do an
I have to change rotor blades. Okay, there's so much maintenance and upkeep on fixed wing and rotor manned aircraft that it makes it insurmountable for anything but these large self-indemnified cities to manage.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen, and seconds count. That's the other thing. Seconds count. I've said it, I don't know how many times in the past, but you have in a city like New York with the population and structural density that you have there, the New York City Fire Department has to be extremely aggressive. So we always have members up on the roof called OVs, or outside vent members, and they're cutting openings in the roof to vent that heat, smoke, steam, okay? But you don't have sight of them. Now you have eyes in the sky with thermal imaging. You can see each and every one of those members. But I've said this countless times. More importantly, I can see the heat signatures below the roof line. And I can, as an incident commander, I can turn around and make a decision, evacuate that exposure. And 10 minutes later, the roof goes. Now, I don't have 8 grieving families, okay, because we just lost firefighters working on that roof, right? What is the value of that? Now, I can't put a helicopter above some of the areas in New York City to give me that same level of tactical intelligence. And the cost factor is the thing that really gets me here. And we're so short-sighted, it's frustrating. I get frustrated thinking about it.
Well, I got you revved up, Tom, and I'm sorry, but we're really messing with Ron's agenda here, so we better let Ron roll on.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to finish up the 360 topic. But Tom's talking did allow me to find the little promo, which I will play now. I couldn't find it before, but I did find it. So don't blink, anybody. Of course, I have the sound turned down.
Wow, that looks like a 360 camera, Ron.
Yeah. So let me get rid of that baby here. We don't need him anymore. Let's see.
Wow, it's the first preview video from DJI that you can actually tell what the product is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They're not trying to hide this one. So okay, our last quick shot before we get on to the main stories here. The Potensic Atom 2 drone got a firmware update recently that added a cineroll feature that mimics the infinity gimbal on the DJI Mavic 4. So for about $300 and some odd, you can pretend like you got a Mavic 4 now. Marcus has had a chance to download that firmware update, and you've already given it a shot, right?
I have, Ron, and I promised you I would tee up a video. Keep talking. Let me find that video for you. Yeah.
I know Tom's going to talk about the Mavic 4 Pro in depth later on, but maybe while Marcus is looking for the video, maybe you can give us what your impressions of the cineroll feature that the new infinity gimbal allows.
Well, first I had to remap all those damn buttons on this controller, and I had to make up a cheat sheet, okay? Because accessing that infinity roll was, to me, not that intuitive. So I have remapped it, and you know what? It's pretty neat. It will be overused. Well, that's the one thing that it didn't get released in the US, so we're already not sick and tired of it. Okay, but I could see. I was thinking about some use on it when I was flying in Red Rock. That going around a ridge or something like that, maybe I could introduce some infinity roll in it going around. Or if you're shooting in a city with some, high-rise buildings, as you're going around those buildings, introducing some of that infinity roll would be a nice way to leverage it. But I think it will be overused, and it brings, it's another gimmick that will figure out how to use it over a period of time.
Right, and try to use it, like you said, in situations where it actually fits the video.
Yeah.
Marcus is hard way, oh, it's here, Marcus.
Yeah. Tell me when to hit the go button, Ron.
Ooh, look at that.
We're looking at it right now.
Okay, here we
roll
go.
that video, Marcus.
This is the little Potensic Atom 2 that was loaned to me by a mutual friend of Ron and myself. Yeah, they just had a firmware update and it gave us this. Check it out.
Oh boy. There it goes.
Why did I spend all this money?
Yeah, this is about a $350 drone, Tom.
There you go. Just rub it in, Marcus. Rub it in.
Is this all software, Marcus?
Well, yeah, the gimbal certainly doesn't spin all the way around, so it's got to be done all within the software. Which I guess. Listen, if you can do digital image stabilization, there's no reason you can't do this. But. And
so my question there is, what about the resolution? Because they have to be doing some major cropping there.
They do. So it is not full resolution. Hang on here. I'm going to tell you.
Right.
Somebody in the chat says 1080p.
It's 1080p. Yeah, I'm just looking.
Okay.
At the
that's
Look good.
Yeah, that makes more sense. So you're cropping the heck out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Thank you, Marcus.
pull the little drone out so you guys can see the little Potensic Atom 2. It's just a little mini drone, and as you can see, I mean, it's just got a normal looking gimbal on there, so it's not spinning around or anything. But what I will say for Potensic is, man, they have crammed a ton of features into this little guy. And it is vastly improved from the original Atom. And Ron is who sent it to me. It went from our friend to Ron, and then Ron to me. So Ron knows all about it as well.
It's a travel drone, as G-Man calls it.
It is a travel drone. Yeah.
So, well, the great thing is we'll still be able to get them after the Chinese drone ban. Oh no, damn it! They're made in Shenzhen.
Well, so Tom, help me out here for a second, Tom. You just really made a good point, and I don't want to lose it. What consumer drone is not made in China? Not a one, right? Not a one.
Ron, I would say key up the Jeopardy music because we're going to have trouble on this final answer here.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the thing. They're leaving the consumer out of the game completely. And is that the intent? Or is that just, a side benefit to those
That's what
that are behind this?
That is exactly the point that I've been making. I think that there is a secondary reason for all this, and that's to get yahoos like us out of the air.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Go ahead, Ron.
I was going to say, you talk about, those not being available. Here's a big question I have. I know the 23rd comes and the DJI drones hasn't been tested or examined, and then they get automatically banned. My question is, do you think if you walk in and say Walmart on January 1st, 2026, all the Chinese drones will be removed from the shelf and taken to the back room, or you think those puppies will still be out there for sale?
They'll be on those shelves for sale, no doubt about it. So
really, it's only DJI's getting banned. The rest of them, it may happen eventually, but right away, come the end of the year when that 23rd day passes, I bet you any drone you never heard of, like maybe DJI Autel, but I bet the government, they probably have, all the people writing these bills, they have no idea there's FEMIs and Potensic Atoms and all these other crazy Chinese drones. So they're not written down in any bills or whatever. It's going to take them months.
Ron, I think you're forgetting about the Countering CCP Drone Act. That will it'll eliminate anything from China.
It'll eliminate all drones.
Yeah, not just drones, but parts.
I'm just being determined here. But why aren't those other drones being examined? along with the DJI drones? Why is only DJI chosen to be?
Because they don't hold 70% of the market share.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you mean so DJI can say the whole thing. If they pass the mustard, everybody else passes.
No, you're talking about two different things, Ron.
Apples and oranges. Yeah.
I don't, Marcus. I don't care about one bill in particular. I want it all. I want the big picture. I want every bill you can mention. The Uyghur thing. I want that all rolled into one. January 1st, Marcus. Will you walk into your Walmart and will the drone shelf be just empty or be replaced by
what's left in stock? What's left in stock will be there, but in short order after that.
Nothing new.
That shelf space will be replaced by something else, and it won't be drones.
RC cars made in China.
Maybe. Hey, if
the
Potensic gets popular,
right there.
If the Potensic drone gets popular and people start buying it, soon their name.
It's a target.
Yeah.
But these consumer drones.
Him too.
Well, I wonder where the subcomponents for that drone come from. So, assembly might be in Malaysia, but and this is part of the problem. This is what I was talking about before. We're cutting our nose off to spite our face. If you look, it happened to Skydio. Skydio started to ship all over DJI and China. And China turned around and said, hey, where are you getting your batteries from? Okay. So, you don't screw with the guy who holds all your subcomponents and tell him you don't need him because you're going to do it yourself, but you haven't even built the factories to do it yet.
Here's the thing.
And my other thing, go ahead.
Well, what they are avoiding is making consumer drones illegal. They'll never be illegal, but we could get to the point that we'll be able to buy a consumer drone in the United States, and it'll be built by a U.S. company, but it'll be $5,000 instead of $500, and so that eliminates 95% of the people that would ever buy one, maybe even more.
Correct.
So you end up with that same thing. You get a lot of drones out of the air then.
But it also eliminates a portion of the tax base also, because your consumer drones are leveraged by 100,000 plus small businesses. And these small businesses, conservative estimates 150,000 small businesses, but those 150,000 small businesses employ, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of employees. And see, this is what doesn't make sense to me. Also, what about our kids? What about STEM? And where's that stepping point into aviation? It's coming from this technology. Who's also going to suffer with us is those folks that always turn their nose up at us from the AMA. Because guess what? Their RC planes are nothing but drones, okay, with fixed wings. And whenever you go to an AMA field, they turn their nose up at you until they crash their plane in the weeds. Then they want you to go do a rescue op for them with your quadcopter, right? Mm-hmm. But they're going to suffer as well, because where are those subcomponents coming from for those RC planes? Okay.
Canada.
Same thing. Well, they're coming through Canada. Okay. Which close those damn borders already, will you? No.
Okay. Well, we're good on to a hot topic that came across big today. This news is all over the place. These videos dropped. Here is, the promo for the anti-gravity drone. And what we learned about is it sounds like Insta360 partnered with another company called Anti-Gravity to make this drone.
Right. It's a separate company. That's important. Yeah.
I had no idea where the separate company is located, but
Shenzhen.
So we wonder why the anti-gravity stuff is written all over those leaked drones last week, so now we know why. So here's some spectacular 360 video from the air there with stuff spinning around. So I'm sure they'll have a cineroll in this drone too. Look at that shot going around that rock there. And
oh, look, you can bring it into space too. I guess there's no 400-foot limit, huh?
Not for this drone. There's that thing in Paris. Look at that shot of the horses in 360. So you can see the possibilities with a 360 camera and a fast-moving drone.
So it appears that Anti-Gravity is not a standalone startup in the traditional sense. But what they say is it's a rather newly unveiled consumer drone brand incubated by Insta360. And their official headquarters are located in Shenzhen, in the Guangdong province of China. So
here's Anti-Gravity's website with like a button here to jump into more of the drone information. And you go to the website, you can sign up to get on their email list. So they're a little promo. So again, this thing's all breaking now, just in almost like today or the last certain amount of hours. So.
You know what this does for us? It gives us a little excitement back, doesn't it? I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
And actually, truthfully, it's the same thing this little guy did too.
I agree.
It got people excited again.
Yeah. Hey, competition is a wonderful thing, and we all benefit from it.
Yeah.
Here, Igor's got like kind of a leaked air down.
This is a great video.
What all that is, I have no idea. But
so one of the things that they were talking about in that video, Ron, did you see that fan? And so what they were thinking is, if this little drone has to have a fan in it, it must have a very powerful processor.
Okay,
but that's a good thing, right? That means it's got to process that video, and
I have no problem with the.
But again, the back end. The post-processing is what I'm so curious to see is, the complexity of that post-processing. And the simpler you can make it, like you said, Marcus, earlier, if it's difficult to use, you're not going to use it.
Mm.
Yep. My go-to just sits there. No reason to use it when I can, I make excuses to use something else because I don't want to go through all that hassle.
Oh man,
I think.
Hey, I tell you this: for me, to do it all over again, back to 2017 and 2018, I don't think I can do it again. Start all over again.
The Vizio XS812, DeMarco.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have a headline in Drone XL. Well, first of all, it looked like they teased two Insta360 camera drones last week, and apparently both of them are rumored to have the 360 cameras on them. Of course, this is only one of them here. And Drone XL had a headline today that said, tired of DJI's grip on drones, the Insta360 Anti-Gravity just dropped a sub 249 gram 8K 360 game changer to shake up the skies. They launched a new drone brand that includes the world's first 360-degree drone and sub 249 gram thing. This drone follows the unsuccessful attempts by GoPro, Parrot, Skydio, and Sony to challenge DJI's market share here. So what I'm hoping for, guys, is this drone is about ready to go, and it gets released before the 23rd of December or whatever. So they're already in the U.S., so they can sell them. They don't say DJI in the box, so the customs guy that worries about the Uyghurs, he won't be pulling it out of circulation.
The 23rd of December it has nothing to do with any company other than DJI, Ron. Nothing.
No other company is involved in that date.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But then there's other bills too. I say I'm not focused on one bill. I'm trying to cover all the bills. We didn't mention, but and I don't have a card up for it, but you saw there were some senators down in Alabama last week that wrote a new drone bill to help stymie, put more drone rules and regulations on us and whatever. But I'm not even getting into that tonight. But again, I'm trying to cover my across the board on all these different drone things and whatever, how they're all going to come together, say, at the end of this year. So I'd like to see this drone get out way before that time. And as long as you mentioned earlier, as long as they get inventory in the U.S. and warehouses and stuff like that, then they're good before that date at the end of the year. If it includes, if one of the bills includes all Chinese drones, I don't care which bill, but if one of those bills includes all Chinese drones, then the end of the year means something to us. But
so, Ron, let me ask you: do you think this will be resolved by August 7th, so I can buy that Mini 5 Pro that I've been looking at?
I think we're going to go to Tom right now. I think you may have to rely on Tom's contacts in South Korea. Now, you were in the chat last night in Drone Therapy, and you even mentioned your guy in South Korea, right? That you purchased the drone from. What was the store's name?
I just wish he was my guy, okay? But unfortunately, he doesn't offer an affiliate program. The company is DW_store13. DW_store13. And you know what? I looked all over to secure it, and 2 locations I was starting to key in on was South Korea and Japan, because their products, their imports are not challenged by CBP as they enter the country, okay? Because we still have favorable trade agreements with both countries. Now, the other thing was I didn't want to pay a premium. I looked at Adorama. I just didn't want to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars on top of what the drone should cost. And I was even resigning myself to only picking up the RC Pro 2 controller and forgetting about the Mavic 4. But when Adorama was charging $1,500 for that controller, that should only cost $999, I couldn't bring myself to bear. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Right.
Okay.
We're all in that same spot. Yeah.
And so I started to look, and what I started to realize was the drones being sold out of South Korea and the drones being flown. Well, I also looked, let me back up. I also looked at the Canada situation, right? And the problem with the Canadian situation was the fact that years ago, we used to get our VAT back. We used to get a rebate on our VAT when we, as U.S. non-Canadian citizens, shopped up there. We could come back and apply for that tax back. But they stopped doing that. So, now
DeMarco,
this was going to cost.
Hear every word you're saying, DeMarco.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Tom.
So I didn't want to pay that price either. So now when I looked at South Korea specifically, I started seeing that the price was relatively in line with what DJI's price was. And eBay also offers a transaction guarantee. So you either get what was presented or you get your money back. So I wound up ordering it through that company. And what happened was, I ordered it and I was like, well, this is going to take me a couple of weeks to get. And my price on that Creator 2 combo was about $3,800. Okay. And to me, that was in line with what I was looking to pay. Now,
sorry about that.
When they went to ship it to me, and I was surprised that I got a shipping notice so quick, that they wrote me an email and said, hey, when it arrives, don't be put off by the fact that the outer box might say used on it. but the product will be brand new, shrink wrapped, and not refurbished. So I was like, okay, no problem. It came in a plain brown box. It came 4 days later from South Korea. Okay.
Wow.
Now, when I opened up the box, a piece fell out, and it wasn't in the actual DJI box. What it was a plug adapter, because the only difference with the product I bought from South Korea is the 240 watt charger has a Type F plug on it, which is an Asian plug. And all I needed was that little piece that fell out of the box. They included the converter plug. But otherwise, the product was sealed, brand new, FCC registered, okay? And I went right online and I got my FAA number from the FAA, registered the drone, no problem there. And I got to tell you, I'm very satisfied. And in fact, as a result of that, in the chat, okay, Michael Wright went ahead and purchased one.
What?
From your guy. Yeah.
From the same guy. Okay.
Now Tom, important question for you. Tom, I don't cut you off, but important question before we move on here. Now, a lot of people, I've heard stories, a lot of people worry that they order like you did, and then their drone gets to the U.S., and then they have to pay some big tariff, or whatever. They have to go pay $500-600 tariff to get it in. You saw none of that, huh?
No, again, South Korea and Japan still have favorable trade agreements with the United States. And as a result of that, apparently, CBP didn't even look twice at it.
So Tom, I also suspect that's why it said used on the outside of the box.
Very, very much so.
Yeah, possible.
So I have a friend that's going to Europe in a couple of weeks, and they want that Mini 5 Pro. So what they were thinking of doing is ordering it and getting it while they're in Europe. And all we counseled them to do was take it out of the box, register it with the FAA drone zone, and put a sticker on it that has the FAA number, and put it back in your carry-on luggage when you come in.
Okay, Tom, as you know, I'm going to Spain in a few weeks myself.
Oh.
And I thought of the same thing. However, I don't want the CE version of that drone. I want the FCC version of it to get the range and so forth. So
the range, yeah. Now the question is, so will that 5 be? See, now the box on my drone has both the CE registration number and the FCC registration number. So I'm wondering, is it some way switchable or updatable via firmware?
Listen, I know a lot of my UK buddies, there's some hack that they do to their drones to get it into FCC mode or whatever, but then supposedly it kills their warranty, and there's all kinds of things that go with that. But I'm with you. I don't really know. Now,
when it comes to warranty, that of course is an issue. So, you know, if you're buying this drone and you're spending $4,000 on this Mavic 4 Pro Creator combo, and by the way, the company has the Fly More combo. I'm looking at it right now. They have the Fly More combo with the regular RC2 and the extra batteries for $2,700, and that's available right now. Okay, but if you purchase this drone, remember, no DJI Care refresh, so you don't have a safety net. Now,
Marcus, I keep saying we don't have a safety net on any like my Air 3S. Since I can't get a replacement for it, or whatever, I essentially don't have any more support or care refresh on the drones I do use, because they did not ship the replacement.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing about this drone. I said, well, you can't get care refresh. What about warranty? Well, I don't know. Amazon, if you have a problem with it, will enforce a warranty. However, it's no different than DJI now. My existing DJI drones, care refresh, whatever, might as well not even have it.
Very, very true. So, some people their knee-jerk reaction would be go to State Farm or go to Allstate or go to one of these companies and try to get replacement value. They wouldn't sell me that policy for this drone. Okay. Now I happen to have aviation insurance. So I'm able to cover my drones under the aviation insurance. But what that does for me is just get that money back in my pocket. It doesn't repair or replace my drone.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But you have to really think about it. You know, $4,000, no safety net. You know, it has to be part of your decision-making process when you decide to purchase the drone.
Yeah.
The footage you're looking at is Tom took this with the Mavic 4 Pro just recently. This is at Red Rocks, near Vegas, right, Tom?
Yeah, Red Rock National Conservation Area. I get asked 1,000 times a day, why are you allowed to fly there? Well, I'm allowed to fly there because you are allowed to fly there, as long as you stay out of the wilderness areas. And if you're curious where the wilderness areas are, make sure you stop at the visitor center on your way in. Okay? But there's a 13-mile scenic loop, and Marcus and I drove that scenic loop when he was in town. And about a dozen different parking areas that provide some spectacular takeoff locations. And it is just, it blows you away. Just the scenic beauty. It's just the diversity of nature and what you see while you're there. It is simply amazing. And it's a target-rich environment.
Now, Tom, beside all the hoopla about how hoops you have to jump through to get the drone and all that, once you have the drone, you're out flying it. What's your impressions, flying the drone? How good does the footage look on your computer? All that stuff. Go through that a little bit.
I'll sum it up in, it's a beast. Okay. It is a beast. It's heavy. Okay. Substantial. No problem in the wind. I happen to go out to Gene Dry Lake Bed right by me, and it's calm and the wind's not blowing, and I get out of the truck and it's nice and calm. The second I power up the truck, I got 25 mile to 30 mile an hour sustained winds. This drone handles that with absolutely no problem. You do have a lot of customization available to you on this drone. I, in fact, had to create a cheat sheet to remap a lot of the buttons on the controller to give me the type of, I see Bill got his covered by State Farm. I'm glad to hear that. Oh. But the drone itself, okay, once you customize your gain and expo settings and ramp up your speed, by the way, because they dumb a lot of stuff down on the drone. So when you go in there, I can get now this drone up to 60.4 miles an hour. Wow. It was set down on sport mode. Its tracking is stunning. I have to say that. The only time I lost tracking, I was tracking 3 vehicles as they went across the desert floor. The only time I lost the vehicle was when he started doing donuts and he kicked up all that dust, all that dirt, and he was in a cloud, and the drone sat there and went, "Where is he? Where is he?" And then when he popped out, the drone picked up and continued to follow. Okay. So I'm finding it to be a pleasure to fly. And coupled with that RC Pro 2 controller, it definitely is the best drone I've flown.
Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing, and real quick, we got Eddie Nunes in the chat here. Eddie's going to be our guest next Monday night, so everybody join us next Monday with
what's up, Eddie?
Eddie in the house. Yeah.
Hey, Ron, does Eddie know anything about 360 cameras?
Yeah, yes, Eddie's going to be one of our 360 experts next Monday after that. That DJI camera is released.
That's not Mr. Eddie Nunez. That's Mr. Eddie 360 Nunez.
Yes, yes, yeah. Because he's kind of given up on drones now with all these bans. So you know.
Hey, before we lose, Air Photography mentioned in the chat there that he thought that the drones would automatically switch from CE to FCC based on your geographical location.
Satellites even mentioned at one point. Yeah.
That would be a great thing if that were the case.
Yeah. Thanks, Sean.
Now,
okay, I'm going to move on.
Ron, one other thing I want to note is the color science on this drone. Okay.
Now, it has the Hasselblad. It has the Hasselblad, but the Hasselblad's only in normal video, right?
No, you have the Hasselblad color science is the back end. It has both normal, D-Log, D-Log-M, and HGR. I forget what it is.
That one, the high-end cameras all have it. It has eyes in it, right? Yeah. It's kind of like
this instead of
the Apple thing they used to have.
Right. Instead of ProRes, this has all AI. Now, the difference with the Creator combo is that this has 512 gig onboard storage. Okay.
Right.
I was going to say that. He's now Mr. Tesla. Okay. But it has that 512 storage, and it can write so quick to that. Now you can actually do 1 second hyperlapses in RAW with that drone. Okay. And that's a lot of data. Plus, remember, this camera will shoot, it'll shoot 100 meg images. I prefer to shoot at the 25 megs. I think I get everything I need out of that. It's pretty spectacular as far as the colors go. And I've been shooting in normal. I'm going to turn around and start playing with the D-Log-M. But this was shot actually from Bob. I
was going to say,
Bob Dempsey's driveway.
At a secret location we heard last
Secret
week.
location, Bob Dempsey's driveway. I'll give you his address. Anybody who wants it, just chat me. I'll give you his address. Okay. It's actually one of the stops on the Vegas drone meetup. Okay. We all stop at Bob's house. But and that is what the sky looked at. Like we've been having some wildfires in up in Nye County and again along the Arizona-Utah border. So, our sunsets are starting to look pretty spectacular. But
I can see the good dynamic range already with that sky.
Yeah, and it is pretty amazing the level of dynamic range. I mean, I remember my first digital camera was a Nikon D1. And you struggled with that tank of a camera to get some dynamic range out of this. And I'm blown away as it continues to go. The dynamic range on is just amazing on this camera.
Yeah, and it has that dual ISO fusion that helps with that.
The one thing you definitely need to pick up for this drone is you definitely need to pick up split ND filters, because that 4/3 camera is so large. So normally out here, when I'm in the desert, I'm shooting with a 64-32. So it's an ND 64 on the 1X camera, and it's an ND 32 on the 2.5 and the 6X cameras. But that's the other thing. I find that as Bill points out, those shadows are not muddy. I'm keeping the details in those shadows. And, the highlights I'm finding are pretty spot on, that I'm not losing that level of detail. So it really is making a huge difference. When I start to just look at what comes straight out of the camera, that first time I started to look at it, I was blown away. I was like, oh, this is spot on. It's what I saw,
So this photo isn't something you spend an hour in Lightroom perfecting. This is pretty much off the memory card.
No, this I didn't do anything to this.
Right.
I took this out.
Yeah.
That was my first. That's what I wanted to do, was pull this out of the camera and turn around and just throw it up there to see what it looked like. The other thing was I pulled it off of the drone after the drone was turned off. Okay, so it goes into a sleep mode, but you still have quick transfer available in the sleep mode.
Wow.
Which I think is pretty cool. So even though I got a, I have a 256 gig card in it, but when I'm doing a hyperlapse, I'm definitely shooting to the onboard storage.
The 512, yeah.
Yeah,
Plenty of storage, and you really like the controller too, the RC Pro too.
That's the icing on top of the cake. I mean, it really is. Like I said, the eyes aren't getting any younger, and the ability to still have my, my baby blue eyes, man. I got to have sunglasses on when I'm outside. Okay. And I can still see everything nice and clean on that screen. And again, being able to start this up, okay, by opening it up, okay, it's turning on. When I open up the arms on the drone turns on. I'm up in the air.
Do that.
I'm up in the air in 30 to 40 seconds. I'm up in the air. You don't miss the shot. No. And look, you learn from everything, Marcus, right? They stole that from the flip. Okay.
Tom, honestly, I actually turned it off on the flip because I didn't like it every time I opened it up.
It annoyed them. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But the quality is there. Amazing. The quality is there.
Yeah.
And I don't have buyer's remorse.
Good.
Right.
Okay, that's the true tell right there, is I don't have buyer's remorse. And
it's probably a drone, that'll last you for years if you can't get anything else.
Well, that was my other thought. If I was going to spend this kind of money, I wanted to future-proof myself, right? And I feel that this gave me that. And if the unfortunate happens, then like you said, I'm good for several years with this. I say 3 at the near side. I'm good for at least 3 years with this drone.
I still use cameras I had almost 10 years ago. They have all the dynamic range and definition I need. I mean, I could get better, but they're all that I need to do the type of work I do.
Right. And that's what it comes down to. What is it you're looking for, and does it satisfy your own personal need?
Yeah. I got cameras that older cameras. They produce the image I want to produce. I don't need any better than they produce as far as what modern things could happen. But before we get too late here, I want to move over to Marcus. He's going to talk about the Rover X1 a little bit. He just purchased last week, got it in 4 days. Of course, Tom, you got yours in 4 days, and yours came all the way to Korea. Yeah. So that doesn't sound that great. Marcus, did yours come all the way from Malaysia or from?
It did.
It was. So Malaysia and South Korea had about the same shipping times or whatever. And I saw you did an unboxing first look video, and then you've got at least one flight video posted out at the Snake River Canyon.
I posted actually another video just this afternoon as well, Ron. Yeah, so it's an interesting little device. I mean, listen, we all know what it is. It's a DJI Mini 4 Lite, I guess is what I'll say, because it does not have all the functions that the Mini 4 Pro has. You don't see any LED light on the bottom of it here. But flying, you would never know the difference. And I am certain that this camera, even though it's shaped a little bit different it has a little bit different cover on the front, or doesn't have a cover on the front of the lens, it's the same camera. You look at the quality of the output of the drone, and it looks great. Now there's a ton of little things in the app. When you're talking about hyperlapse, instead of getting orbit and waypoint hyperlapse, you lose both of those. You don't. All you have is course lock and free when you come when you do hyperlapse. Panos, you lose the vertical panorama. I don't know why. Why would that be the one that they chose not to put in there? But you lose that. The quick shots, I noticed it doesn't have the boomerang quick shot. Has all the other ones, but it doesn't have the boomerang. So
might come later.
Yeah, well, it's funny again. And by the way, there have been no firmware updates since I've had it. So
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
But again, when I saw some of your screenshots of the menuing system,
it's the fly
app. Hard to tell. It was hard to tell the difference between the mothership and
you're instantly familiar. You're instantly familiar because it is the fly app. Now, what I noticed is the font is subtly different. You don't have any of the AR functions that the Mini 4 Pro has. You know, the drone shadow and the green line and those things are just gone. I looked in the menu and that's not there. But you have all the gain and expo settings. You have, and it's just like DJI. The obstacle avoidance is flawless, just like the Mini 4 Pro is. And so here, I said this in my video today, and I'll say it here. Listen, if you always wanted a Mini 3 Pro or always wanted a Mini 4 Pro and you missed out and you can't get them now, this is your alternative. This is what you're going to want to buy. If you already have a Mini 3 Pro or a Mini 4 Pro, no, I wouldn't get it. Oh, one more thing. There's no master shots on this guy either. So you don't have any of the master shots. But, those are all just little things.
What's the price point on that, Marcus?
So I don't know if Sean is still in the chat, Air Photography, but I used his discount code and I paid $718 for the Flymore kit. Oh, that's the other thing I noticed today. So I ran a battery all the way down, and it was by the time I got down to where it wanted to return to home, I only had about 20 minutes of flight time, and I was flying pretty normally. So I get the feeling not only I don't think you get as much flight time out of this as you do even the regular battery with the Mini 4 Pro. No. So they definitely did.
Right.
And
Marcus, Intel Maxwell Rose has a quick question. He says, Marcus, is the range weaker than the Mini 4 Pro, or does it have the same transmission feed?
I think it's like OcuSync 2 because the controller is equivalent to the RCN1. But OcuSync 2 is awesome. Now, I'm glad that he brought that up. And Ron and I discussed this earlier. When I was out at the Snake River Canyon, where I took off from, I was kind of down in a hole, and it was a super hot day, and my phone got really hot, and I noticed a little bit of stuttering on FPV. I've had a couple of flights since then, and it's been smooth as glass. So
I wanted to ask you on that, Marcus, when because I watched that video and the stuttering on the FPV. Did you realize that in the footage, or it wasn't in the footage?
Oh no, it's not in the footage. It was just my feed back to the drone. Yeah,
it was just the feed, right?
Yeah. It was just the feed back to the drone, and
right.
And it's not like it was even so bad that you couldn't frame a shot or whatever. However, you never want to see that, right? So it was worth looking. That's the reason I brought it up in the video.
And it happened. It happened when the drone was right in front of you too. At one point, hey, under the drone has a question. He says it looks like the X1 doesn't have remote ID. Is this true?
It does. I'm glad that's a great question. No, it does not have remote ID. Yeah.
Thank you.
Where that little Potensic drone behind me does, the little Atom 2. It has remote ID.
It, even once in a while, it even says it's going into remote ID. It warns you almost every flight.
Listen, I need to answer 107 Drones Barkley. Yes, it does come in pink, Barkley, but it's a special color that they made just for you. You're the only one that can order it.
Barkley edition, the Lurker edition. Hey, Bill Grace asked, how is it different from the Spectra? And I don't think Marcus had this Did you have? The
I did.
Spectre
Yeah,
drone?
I've got the Spectre back here.
Okay.
You want me to pull out
Yeah.
the Spectre Mini? The
Well, I
Spectre
mean,
Mini is based.
Yeah, the Spectre is a different. It's a different drone. It's a Mini 2 clone, and
Mini
is
2,
a
right?
full clone.
Whole
Yeah.
different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spectre Mini is based on the Mini 2. But again, the app, the Spectre app, it's the DJI Fly app.
Fly app, thumb down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I did, under the drone saying, Tom asked this question. He said that X1 is much more expensive now. It's about $860. So apparently the price is going up on it.
Go over to Sean's channel, Air Photography, grab his discount code. Now, when I looked
Discount
at
code.
if you did, even if you didn't have the code, it had one of those instant 10% coupon things where you click the box. So make sure you look into that as well.
Yeah, well, let's see. But 20% is only going to save him like $20. It's not going to off of $860, right?
No, on a $900 drone, 20% is $180 drone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's a nice piece of change.
Yeah. Good point. Thank you, Marcus, and thank you, Air Photography.
Yeah, and Tony's aerial said the check last night, and Sean's link is still working.
Oh, good. Yeah. I encourage everybody, get over there to Sean's channel. Number one, go over there and watch his video, because his original video that he put on it is very comprehensive. And then he did a follow-up video comparing it with the DJI Mini 4 Pro. Watch both of those videos, and go over there and grab his code.
So under the drones,
it said can't be used for Part 1 and 7 work, but Marcus,
yes, it can.
Put the module on it.
Yeah, you can put a module on it,
right? Yeah.
I've got a couple of modules back here. I can put one on there.
Now the only thing is, when you put the what's the weight of that drone? So would the module put it over the 250 grams?
You know what? I need to weigh it, Tom. But it feels really light. So I suspect
probably much less.
Yeah, I think it's because
when
I just told you about the battery.
If you're putting a module on it to do a Part 1 and 7 job, you have to be registered anyways. And at that point, the 249 grams doesn't mean anything if you're a licensed Part 1 and 7
correct
job, right?
but
something to the weight.
Well, where it does come into play. Well, where it does come into play is flight over people. Okay. So, but remember, in order to fly over people, not only do you need the module, but you also have to add a strobe even during the daytime. Yep. So now when no, I don't know that. Again, I don't know about having to cage.
I'm going to take that back because I'm not sure either, Tom.
Yeah. But then what you need to do is you need to weigh those three components together. And if you're still under that 250 gram, I think you're good to go.
Yeah.
You know, that's where DJI missed the mark with the flip. That they didn't include RID in the flip. I believe the flip would have flew off the shelves, to 107 holders if it had RID in it. But once you add an RID module, once you add the module and add a strobe, it's over the 250 grams to flip.
Yeah. Well, you think anybody ever designed a drone that comes with remote ID, comes with the other thing you just said, all built in and still under 249 grams? In other words, the drone is designed mostly for flying over people and not much else.
I can't see why not, Ron. From a technological standpoint, there's no wall there to stop that. Okay. So over people, category 1, you need prop guards. Okay, good point.
So let me consult the documentation for this drone and see if I can see how much.
The thorough guide, Marcus.
That's
that's extensive.
That's the whole documentation that you get with the drone. So I don't know. It doesn't say.
Oh, look, we got Stevie in the chat here. I knew he was coming in. That's why I wore a shirt tonight.
I like that shirt.
Stevie Bronx, yeah. I knew you were coming, brother.
Stevie, I wish I would have known. I would have put mine on too, bro.
Excuse me, guys. Time for dinner for me. I'm running late tonight. So
Yeah, right.
I
Okay,
gotta
Igor,
go.
thank you
DeMarco,
very
good
much.
seeing you, bro.
We're almost
Same to you.
done. Good night.
good night, guys.
If-
Hey,
So, Marcus, any final thoughts and conclusions after a couple flights with the SkyRover X1?
Number one, yes, it's a DJI drone. It may, or at least it's made under license. It flies like a DJI drone. Number one, so have no doubt about that. Two, if you already have a Mini 3 Pro or a Mini 4 Pro, you don't need this one. If you're upgrading from a Mini 2 or a Mini SE or something like that, and you want to go the next step, this drone is heads and tails ahead of a lot of those other Amazon drones that I fly on my channel.
right.
It's not even in the same ballpark. It is that much better than all of them. The video, the quality of the piece, everything about it. So yeah, this is if you can't buy a DJI Mini 4 Pro or Mini 3
You're
Pro,
right, Barkley.
this is the one you want.
Yeah.
I haven't posted. I mentioned
Very
earlier I
true.
didn't want to go into a big thing tonight about it, but the Alabama senators, they proposed that bill HR 334. Barkley says the 250 grand will become irrelevant if that bill comes to pass.
I'm not familiar with that. What are they saying?
That's just cut from last week, and I could send you it's too much to go to. I could send you the bill, but they want to regulate drones big time in the U.S. I mean, ultra regulators or whatever.
While the rest of the world laughs at us.
Just laughs.
Okay. With all this. Hey, I wanted to bring something up that I didn't mention with the Creator combo. Okay. You get this parallel charging hub for the 3 batteries. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very similar. It was and I could still charge that in this probably charges so much quicker than that charger does. Okay. with 10 times the capacity. But the this parallel charging hub coupled with that 240 gram charger, I can charge all 3 batteries in less than 90 minutes.
Oh, wow,
because it charges them in parallel. So
with your adapter on it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, so Jake's drone life, we just kind of went over that, all that it does and doesn't have, but the short answer is no, it doesn't have everything that the Mini 4 Pro has.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Jake's drone life. So yeah, thanks for letting us know about that charger. 90 minutes. And Tom, how much, I know they're rated for 52 minutes. How much real world flight time are you getting out of the batteries?
I try, especially in this heat out here, I try not to bring my batteries really below 30% in the summertime. Okay. I did get a battery down to about 20%, and that took me close to 40 minutes.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
So hey, I was surprised by that.
That Sean's code still works. So that's good.
Good.
Yeah.
$718.
Yeah, there you go. I had a drone checked. It is the price Marcus quoted earlier.
Yeah.
So
good.
Great. So I think that's about it. Tonight we're getting near the end here. Tom, anything you'd like to bring up or mention that we didn't talk about on the show?
Well, I guess any moment the Vegas DroneMeetup.com website will go live.
Oh, wow.
And our second annual Vegas Drone Meetup will be held on November 7th, 8th, and 9th. We have a great committee this year, great people. I was telling you earlier, Marcus, one of the things we do as a committee is we also go out and we do STEM education. The city of Henderson is one of our sponsors, and so we help them with their summer camp and after school programs by giving these drone presentations to kids from the age of 5 on up into the teen years. And it's a lot of fun to do. So that's one of the reasons why we got this meetup together, is so that we can also give back to the community. But our meetup is November 7th, 8th, and 9th. This year, we have Pilot Institute is doing on-site classes. Also, Aero AI, a local company, is doing mapping and splat classes. We also have the adventures to go out and shoot in some target-rich environments. And this year, we're also adding a bucket list item. Now this is a paid item where you, with Drone Envisions, you'll go off-roading and flying drones. And when I say off-roading, you're going to be going to some spectacular spots that really even the locals don't know exist. So we have a pretty good lineup this year. And again, do we really need to give you an excuse to come to Vegas? Okay. So there's a lot to do and see here. And we hope that whoever can meet us. And maybe even this year, Stevie Bronx and Mr. Eddie Nunez, Tesla Nunez, will make it out here. Who knows? Yeah. You never know who you'll spot out here.
I'm riding out with Eddie this year. So yeah.
So will Eddie be driving his Tesla?
Eddie's not driving. Eddie's going to sit in the driver's seat like this on his way out here, right?
Yeah, but he'll have to stop about 50 times to charge. So it's going to take 2 weeks to get across the country.
Hey, Tom,
maybe he wants to borrow these batteries.
Tom, are you coming to the East Coast meetup in September, Rhode Island?
No, unfortunately, we had a prior engagement. Now, I'm going to tell people, if you can make that Northeast meetup, do it, because, oh my God, that's a spectacular part of the country. And I know John and Josh working hard on that. Okay, great people up there. I was fortunate to go up with Eddie, okay, and Jamaris, my wife, okay, and meet up with Mark Fisher and Ingrid up there for the very first Rhode Island drone meetup. And that was the first time I got to meet that celebrity, Ray Kelly, okay, was up there, okay? Wow. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful area to fly. Great time. So if you can make that, it's so great to have these meetups now happening in different areas of the country. I think it's great. And one thing I have to say, and this is coming from fire service, where we're kind of an extended family. I have to say, I've met some great people in this community, and where it has become an extended family, so to speak. And that is really something that I enjoy about flying drones, more so flying drones with now friends, okay? And that's a great thing about this.
And it's great to see you in Florida this year, Tom. It was a pleasure getting to meet up with you down there.
That was a lot of fun down there, man. We had some great times down there, And Ray set the standard there, okay? Besides being a pest and forcing me to work with Bob, okay, to create a meetup here, okay? But Ray set the standard, so we're just trying to keep up.
Hey, I'm gonna roll, gents.
Good night, Marcus. Thanks. I want to bring up Chris Hope. Remind everybody about Minefield. There's another meetup coming up, but thank you, Mark. Yeah. So that's coming up in August. So we'll have one in August. We'll have it in September. Then we'll have
September
October
and November.
And Vegas in November, and then you get the rest up for Florida in April.
If any commercial flyers are coming out for the September Commercial UAV Expo, I'll be on the floor. I'll be at the Pilot Institute kiosk there. They put on a great show there. And if you want to see some massive drones and some of the leading technology on the commercial side, that's a great show to attend.
Will Greg be at the Vegas meetup? Greg from Pilot
Yes. Greg, actually, Pilot Institute's a sponsor, one of our sponsors. And they're giving several classes on our Friday educational day, that first day. And they'll be at the Henderson Multi-Generational Recreational Center, which is right across the street from our main venue, which is the Green Valley District. And they'll be giving actually a couple of different classes there at like a $25 charge. But they're going to give you that $25 back on any course they're offering up online as well.
That's great.
So
That's great.
yeah, it's going to be a good
event.
event.
Gary Brain Arrows has reminded me. I forgot about the
September Spain. Yeah.
Also, yeah. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, that's that's going to be a great one with Backpack Jack and the whole crew from Drone Seekers International. So that's going to be great. And if I'm not mistaken, Marcus is heading out to that one this year.
He's already booked. Yeah, he's going. So
yeah.
So that's great. And the Vegas Times. And Bob said last week that the Golden Nugget will have rooms available, but he also mentioned you could actually stay in Henderson. And I think there's. Yeah, I've been to Vegas Strip before. It doesn't mean much to me. I'm not a gambler. I'd rather stay out in Henderson.
Yeah, well, we'll be providing a list of resource hotels throughout the area. Okay, so people looking for more affordable rates. The problem is some of these luxury resorts, like Green Valley, is not cheap. In fact, Green Valley is closing one of their towers, and they're doing renovation. That just means the price went up on the available rooms. But we're going to be offering a list of resource hotels. We're also going to be listing RV parks for those in the Southwest or even further that maybe want to RV their way here. I'll be providing a list of those sites as well. So, hopefully, if it's within your budget, it's going to be a great meetup.
Under the Drones says, I'll stay in Henderson just to avoid the Hotel Madness in town.
Well, you know what? Look, I live here and I avoid the Strip like the plague. I only go there to kidnap people that are visiting. Okay. But it's just like, look, I spent the greatest portion of my life in New York City, and I avoided Times Square like the plague. I only, I had to unfortunately work New Year's Eve 12 years out of my career, but every opportunity I got to say, no, not me this year, man, I jumped on that. So, yeah, I agree with you there.
Henderson's a nice town.
I love Henderson. I got a great quality of life here, Ron. We moved here almost 4 years ago, and we don't regret it. And I know you guys are fighting your heat bubble right now, but like you and I talked earlier, that I'll take my right now 103 degrees at 7:32 p.m. With a whole 11% humidity over your 80 degrees with 80% humidity.
Yeah,
okay.
Tom, I understand you because I've been in New York City in the summertime, and I know it's hot other places in the countries, but New York City in the middle of summer is a pretty hot place to be.
It just holds the heat, Ron. It just holds the heat. Okay.
Yeah.
And plus you got that 8 to 12 million people, adding to that heat. So, I'll take this any day. And the other thing out here, Ron, is the diversity of nature here. I had a friend come out last September, early September. I said to him, he was staying at Virgin Hotel. I'll pick you up early in the morning and we'll go adventuring. And he gets in the car. It was 106 degrees at like 8 a.m. He gets in the car and I said to him, look, you got a jacket or a sweater with you? And he looked at me and he went, Tom, you've been in the sun too long to think you need a jacket or a sweater in 106 degrees. I said, no, we're taking a drive. And 35 minutes later, we were up in Lowell Canyon, up in Mount Charleston, and it was 64 degrees. And that was only 35 minutes later. So we have a great deal of diversity out here that I have yet to get tired of.
Yeah. Yep. Under Drone says, I'll take that dry heat over the humid heat any day. Less bugs too, he says.
Yes, definitely no bugs. And you know, when we made the choice to retire, Ron, you know, we looked at those pension friendly states, and Florida was definitely on that mark, right? But I don't like the humidity. I don't like bugs, and I'm disaster adverse. And with the amount of hurricanes coming out of the Gulf or the Atlantic, I figured the Vegas Valley was a better choice.
Makes sense. Let's see. Barkley saying dry heat says a bonfire. Tony Zero saying SC is God's oven. I guess that's South Carolina. It's 10:30 p.m.
Yeah. Oh man. I said to you earlier. Yeah, I said to you earlier, Ron. We went to South Carolina a few weeks ago for a friend's wedding, and I got off the plane, and it felt like a ton of bricks with that humidity. Yeah, I mean, instant. I started beating up immediately with sweat.
Right, but the flip side of South Carolina is you could be driving to the South Florida drone meetup or whatever. You could be driving through South Carolina in like early March, and they're already mowing grass. The stuff's green. The weather's like in the 60s or 70s.
It's so lush there. Yep.
Yeah. Again, and in the non-summer, the weather's really nice, and where you'd be freezing in New York City in say the beginning of March, they're already cutting grass, and you don't need your jacket in South Carolina, so that has its advantages too down there.
Well, you know, we have our 2.5 to 3 months of heat during the summer, and the rest of the time, I mean, our springs and falls are spectacular. Our winter lasts about 4 to 5 weeks out here. Okay. Yeah. But there'll be snow up in Mount Charleston from late September through usually mid-May. And last year, the last weekend of ski snowing up in Mount Charleston was the first weekend in June. So what we do is, you know, I don't own a snowblower anymore. I don't own a snow shovel, but we'll take the 35, 40-minute drive up to Mount Charleston. We'll touch the snow, and we'll come back, and it'll be 70 degrees here. So I don't mind it at all. Don't mind it at all.
I've been to Vegas a couple times, but never in the summer. So I've never seen that heat. I've been in the spring and the fall where it's been real pleasant when I've been there. You know, cool
you know what I said?
Warm during the day.
Yeah. Well, when the sun goes down, you do have a big swing in temperature. But, you know, what I find funny is people say, how can you deal with it? How can you deal with it? And I say to them, hey, you know, somebody asked me this, and they're from North Dakota. And I said, hey, what happens when it's 25 below up in North Dakota? They say, well, we stay inside. Well, guess what? When it's 115 here, we go from the air-conditioned house to the air-conditioned car to the air-conditioned restaurant or the air-conditioned resort casino. So, you know, we're really not having an issue.
Yeah. Well, you know, where we're from the Northeast, I mean, by sometime in December, almost to the middle end of March, it's basically too cold to go outside for more than a few minutes unless you're ultra bundled up. So the same thing. I've got like three months or better that I don't really want to step outside except to go to the car and do what I have to do and get back inside again. So almost every climate has that.
Has its you have your trade-offs, right? Yeah, you have your trade-offs. You absolutely have.
Unless you live in San Diego, where it's 75, 365 days a year.
Yeah, beautiful area. Which, by the way, is what, maybe a 5.5 hour drive from me. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Living in the New York metropolitan area, you know, people out here. It's funny. I laugh because people out here will complain about traffic, and I go, it's relative. You don't understand, you know. And just for me to go to work, a 6-mile drive to go to work took 1 hour and 20 minutes to go 6 miles. Okay. And then when you want to venture out of the New York metropolitan area, add 2 hours to your trip before you get out of the New York metropolitan area. You know, here I can be in 3 different states in that amount of time.
Yeah, well, you know, Tom, I'm at the Jersey Shore now, and of course it's summer, the high season. Ride south of the Jersey Parkway by all the shore towns and see what kind of traffic you hit, Tom.
Oh yeah, my parents were retired down in Toms River, New Jersey, And I used to drive that Garden State Parkway run, and that is the most boring road in the country because the same tree runs alongside your car the whole trip down the Garden State Parkway.
Not much to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is nothing to see. And, you know, here I have Utah. The Utah border is an hour away. The Arizona border is a half hour away. The California border is a half hour away from where I am. So, you know, and it's funny, last summer when it was 115 degrees here and it was 118 degrees in Phoenix, we actually drove down to Flagstaff, Arizona, and we stayed there with the RV, and it was 75 degrees because it was an altitude of 8,000 feet. And yes, I think Under the Drone asked, Mount Charleston is just a few feet shy of 12,000 feet. It's one of the largest, tallest mountains in the lower 48. And plus, another fact, I love facts. Another fact is Nevada has the highest density of mountains in the lower 48 states.
Oh, wow.
So
didn't know that. Yeah.
There's a ton of stuff to explore out here.
Barkley says he'll take all 4 seasons. Thank you. Well, if you live in the Northeast, you get 4 seasons, but you really get a lot of winter and a lot of summer.
Yeah.
The good spring and fall, they don't last very long. But once summer comes, it's here for a long time, and once winter comes here, it feels like it's never going to end.
Well, Ron, next, not this September, but next September, towards the end of September, we're looking to take that cruise with the Dempseys, and I know Barkley is looking to go. And that cruise is leaving the west side of Manhattan. It's going up to Boston. Then it's going up to St. John's, New Brunswick, and then it's going to hit. Oh, it's also going to hit Portland, Maine. Then St. John's in New Brunswick, and then Halifax, Nova Scotia. And so we'll be hitting all those spots probably around the peak of colors for the fall foliage. And we'll be flying drones. So it's another Virgin cruise that's going to allow us to take our drones on board with us, which cruise ships don't allow you to do.
Normally, Bob and Audrey were on the show last week, kind of promoting the event, giving us the latest updates on it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, it does. It's missing a lot of the normal places. Like a lot of them stop at, what's the place in Rhode Island? It's real popular. A lot of them stop there on the coast.
Providence?
No, the more unique place or whatever.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's missing a lot of the ones that, the usual cruise. I'm not saying that's good or bad, but it seems a little bit different. So, yeah, that does seem real interesting. And I'm too south. Like, I don't get the good foliage down here. Our leaves change, but I don't get the dramatic colors. I'm too far south. So something like that would be something I've never really seen great fall foliage that far north.
Well, we used to chase it when I was in New York. We would chase it. Eddie Nunez, Stevie Bronx, Deneen Pagan, Anthony Charles. We would get together and leave the city around 4 a.m. and head up to the Catskills or the Delaware Water Gap, just to get to peep those colors. And it's pretty spectacular in the Northeast. Really beautiful.
Yeah, well, I'm far enough south that we're kind of almost, even though I'm not that far from New York, it's almost like a different climate. I'm a little bit warmer, and we just don't get the colors, So
right, you don't get that change.
Yeah. So, well, Tom, we've been going on for a while, but I thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Always enjoy having you on, and glad to hear all the details you could give us on the Mavic 4 Pro, because so many people are afraid to order from outside the country, but it seems like you said South Korea and Japan are pretty safe, and then you got eBay kind of backing your purchase up if you don't get it. So and again, the risk of buying a drone without any support. I mean, all our drones basically no longer have any support or whatever because of the Uyghur custom situation that can't get replacement. So you're no worse off with that. And some people have managed to find insurance, whether it's State Farm. I know some people get it through. They have all their photography gear insured, and they're allowed to put the drone on that. So I guess if you look hard enough, you'll probably find somebody that's willing to insure it. And like you said, that won't take care of repairs or issues or whatever. But if you did crash and destroy your drone, at least you recoup a lot of that money back.
Yeah, Ron, one of the things, just to make the point is, and I mentioned I have aviation insurance, and one of the reasons why I have aviation insurance is I'm worried about liability to others. And, you know, it's one thing crashing your drone, but crashing your drone into somebody's property can get very costly. And that's something that State Farm personal protection insurance for the one item is not going to help you with. And you don't want people going after your home or your bank accounts. So, you know, it's something for people to think about. And of course, if you conduct business, then you need business insurance. So you have to wrap that all in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Figure all that out, whatever. And then you have a couple of those apps where you could buy the insurance against other people's property on a per flight, method. Usually getting $1 million of damage you would do to somebody else's property per flight. So and you know, if you have a business, and then you can write that off as an expense. Wrap it in the whole business. Exactly. Yeah.
But just buy within your means and enjoy what you have. And it's like anything else. As long as you keep that paintbrush clean, you can continue applying the color. It's just keep your skills up, fly safe, and what does Greg say all the time? Don't be that guy, that ruins it for the rest of us. Try to do the right thing. And that I found 90% of the community is a responsible group of people, and that's greatly appreciated. And the other thing is, please, we have a voice, but we have to leverage it. Go up to the Drone Advocacy Alliance, and see where your voice can help, and reach out to your legislators. And I recently wrote a 5-page response to the Department of Commerce's request for comments.
How did the Department of Commerce get into the act? Everybody wants to get into this act on his drones.
Well, you know what? I would rather have, them actually look, if they give DJI an objective evaluation audit, we don't have anything to worry about. But the real question comes down to, how objective will it be?
Right. And
will it be timely? So those are the things we have to worry about. But get your voice out there. Let people know. I mean, you're going to take. I'm also doing some work with the local Veterans Administration to try to get veterans flying drones. Those veterans that suffer from PTSD and need an outlet and need something to refocus on. And just think about, on the recreational side, Bob's old farts with drones was just a joke. And now, tens of thousands of people are part of that group. And, one thing you don't want to do as you get older, for you youngsters out there, listen to me, you youngsters out there, when you don't want to veg out on the couch because your quality of life degrades quickly. You want to have some outlet. You want to have something that you can go out and enjoy doing. And by getting out and enjoying, you also meet up with people like you, Ron, and people in the chat. So you get to expand your all over the world, actually, right? Yeah. We're meeting people all over the world, and that is something, that's a gift. That's a gift. So enjoy it.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And safeguard it.
If you retire and you sit yourself in that easy chair in front of the TV, a friend of mine used to say that that's your dying chair.
Yeah, unfortunately. JAAS, which company do I have aviation insurance with? Again, man, I got to capitalize on these affiliate programs. But it's BWI, Boy William Ida, BWI. And I've had them for a really long time.
And Blueprint says he's got the Mavic 4 Pro insured with Farmers.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Worth of insurance on it. So
yeah, good,
you.
good, excellent, excellent,
yeah.
good.
All right. Well, we've been saying goodbye for the last 5 minutes, but it's a great having you. Come back again. Visit us real soon, Tom. Always enjoy having you on, and have a good summer out there. Stay as cool as you can, and let us know. Come back and give us an update on the Mavic 4 Pro after you've had a couple months under your belt. And you got me thinking about it. And I've been thinking about the whole time the South Korea deal. So I'm thinking again, because again, we're not going to be buying that many drones going forward anymore because of all this. So, it's a lot of money. But if you figure, well, that's the only drone I'm going to buy for a few years, then the money doesn't seem as bad.
Right, exactly. And Ron, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. Okay. I appreciate everybody in the chat too.
Thanks everybody who joins in the chat. Thanks for all the questions, comments, and everything. You guys make these shows with your questions and comments more than anything else. So appreciate the community. And don't forget to watch all the rest of the shows this week. Plenty of shows almost every day. So try to support us. You guys do. You support all the channels. Thank you very much. And a lot of you guys support the meetups and so on. So like you said, great community. Thank you and good night.
Good night, all. Peace, love.
Let me find that end button here. End button.